about him. And I think, in terms of what we talk about in what we want in a movie is typically we need our hero to be vulnerable.
Sure.
And I think Arnold is of a ilk where that's tough to do.
Yeah.
He looks like a god.
Yeah.
And so, but I think they do a good job in that movie. And that's sort of for later. But I think, I guess my whole thing with this is like, you look at him, he looks like an angry T-ball coach.
Yeah.
Vernon does. Vernon Wells, Bennett. But I think they do a good job of making him seem like at least somewhat of an equal.
Right. And I think like the main thing, and thinking about this while watching the movie, you think the same thing. They're not going to have an equal to Schwarzenegger unless you just cast another bodybuilder.
And he talks about that too. He talks about how he wanted to do his own stunts because you can't find anyone who looks like me.
Yeah.
And so he did a lot of his own stunts.
Yeah.
The cut that is sort of presented on his forehead throughout the whole movie was a legit cut. He gashed his hand because he didn't think anyone else's hands could look like his.
Yeah.
So they didn't do a hand double.
Yeah.
Good for Arnold.
Yeah. But you got to think, like, at the end, especially the last sequence and everything, too, at the compound, you got to think, like, if he can't fight Bennett one-on-one, he has to be, if Bennett can't hurt him one-on-one, which he probably can't,
right?
In a way they could have maybe a good hand fight, but that's about it. But you have to have so many other guys injure him, too.
And they talk about that. They talk about how everyone recognizes he's the best.
Right.
Which is, to its credit.
Even Bennett does.
Even Bennett
says
does.
like
it's not like, I can always take you one-on-one. It's never that. It's, I mean, that ego does get him in trouble, but like, it's, everyone's like, oh shit. And they try to kill him last. Because they're like, we know we can get to these guys.
Yeah.
You know, we know we can get to the science teacher, no problem.
Yeah. The guy who doesn't take out his trash, we know he's an easy one.
Yeah, we got him. We got Bennett on our side, which is probably the second most dangerous guy. So it was, I guess it was a 4-man team?
I guess so, yeah. You had the trash guy, you had the car guy.
Guy.
Yeah. What was the car? Was he just stealing a car? I've always thought about that.
Thank you, because I thought about that too.
Yeah.
He likes Cadillacs.
Right. Duke loves his Cadillacs.
Duke loves his Cadillacs, his character does. And was he part of the team? Was this Cadillac salesman part of the team?
I don't think so, because he doesn't kill him, does he? He just drives... No, he does. Doesn't he hit
looks
it?
dead.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's no confirmation, but we can assume he's probably dead.
Did his life just go down... Does he not even own that shop? Was he just a car salesman now?
Just looking for that commission.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And I gotta say, let's go ahead and talk about that scene, because I thought, and I still do, what a great job he does.
Yeah.
The actor, whoever that actor is, plays the car salesman, crushes that role.
It does, yeah.
Oh, you like that? Go ahead, turn it on. What's that sound like? Sounds good, huh? You want vinyl? No. You want vinyl. You don't want
leather
vinyl.
cracks. Leather,
just nonstop. Yeah. And Duke the whole time is just like playing his regular character. But is that the reason he steals the car? Because otherwise, this car serves no purpose.
Right.
This scene as a whole serves no purpose because the car.
Why would you steal a car, put the cops on you for one thing that is so minute? You could.
What do you need the car for?
Yeah.
What did he do with the car?
That has to be, right? It has to be part of the... that guy has to be part of the team.
What did he do with the car? Do we know? We don't see it again, right?
No, I don't think we do, yeah.
And he ends up, when you do see him again, he's in this crazy car. This crazy Cadillac from like 55 or something.
Yeah.
So he's like... He's in a suit. It's post-murder of the science teaching explosives expert. And he's going through all this rigmarole with the sales guy. But that's I mean, the more and more I think about it, because like, if he was going to kill him, it couldn't be, I'm going to steal this car because I know he's going to try to stop me from leaving. Right. And so I'm going to run him over.
I'm just going to put all my eggs into one basket, hope that I hit him on the way out. And
this is a 0 or 100%, right? And the whole, they were more calculated. They knew this guy loved trash, so they're like, let's dangle the carrot in front of him. And he runs out, and he gets killed. So this guy's like, I guess it's a great question. If you have any theories, let us know, because I'm sort of flabbergasted the more I talk about it, because he's not escaping. He's escaped. No.
And after these cluster of scenes, we get that your whole team has died. Yeah. And so, I mean,
that's true.
And I mean, it wasn't just the trash guy, Bennett, and Matrix. I mean...
Yeah, you're right. Maybe this guy must have been like the This guy was communications. I think the first guy must have been explosives.
Yeah.
I think this guy was communications.
Communications.
Maybe a medic.
Yeah, I could see that. Okay.
No, I don't think he'd be a car salesman. Because if this isn't one of Bennett's teams, and I've never thought that he was one of Bennett's teams until right now. I guess in my head as a kid, I was just thought, he's escaping. But the only reason this scene would be in here would be that we get to see Duke's character steal a car for no reason.
For no reason, yeah.
Yeah, I guess this is one of the team members, Marcus. I think we cracked it.
I think we did.
An age-long thing.
Yeah.
Good point. I've never thought about that. Well, this is why we do it.
And what was the other scene? Like, I'm blanking on. Was there any more after that?
Well, they fake Bennett's death.
Right. Well, they fake his death. Yeah, but it goes right from the car salesman to faking Bennett's death. Doesn't it? Yeah.
So it must be. If that's the series of scenes.
Yeah. It can't be just those 3 guys on the team and that's it. When he says we killed your whole team, it has to be at least one more.
Maybe it's an elite unit. You think it has to be 5 on a team?
I think I think that if it was just Trash Guy, they would have said we killed Dexter.
Oh, I see what
they killed Dexter.
You're using the fact that there's multiple scenes like that as proof that this guy.
And when Kirby says they're killing you, they've killed your team. It can't just be like Schwarzenegger has to know that Dexter was the first to go. Trash Guy was the first to go.
So Kirby's like, John, they've killed your team. He's like, oh, they definitely got Trash Guy, right? And he's like, he was the first. He was killed in his robe with the cat shit in his hand. He's like,
San Fernando Valley Times in one hand and his cat.
And Arnold's like, I figured. I'm not surprised. But if that's the case, I feel like with Car Guy, they could have at least been like, we offer military discounts. I serve myself. Something like that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise...
Or, hey, I recognize Cook could have had a tattoo of, like, military, too, on him. Like, hey, brothers kind of thing.
Because even the way that scene is shot, it's never like the Car Guy's the focus.
No.
The whole focus is on Duke.
Which makes him an even better actor. If the focus isn't on him and he's just playing his part. But
yeah, but I mean, when you think about the Trash Guy, the whole scene's about the Trash Guy running out. And then you meet Duke and he shoots him.
Yeah.
This scene is all about Duke buying this car. It really looks like a Cadillac commercial. Yeah. You like Cadillacs? Yeah, I like Cadillacs. Well, you don't love this one, can I? Anyway, so all of his team gets killed in unique ways, and Bennett's death gets faked. Because he's working as a longshoreman.
Right. And I just love how happy he seems, too, on that boat, just saying good morning to the guys and everything.
Hey, guys. Another fishing day. Probably like a lot of dock humor.
Yeah, yeah. Dirty dock humor.
Yeah. Hey, you get me, pussy. I don't know if that would be it. But
that's good dock humor.
Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, I've never worked on the docks. I did have a mentor who worked growing up in the 60s as he worked on railroads.
Oh, no.
And he did it as a part-time job.
Yeah.
But everyone else didn't. So he was this young, polished, middle-class kid coming in, and he's working on the railroads, and he had Converse on.
Yeah.
And everyone started like side-eyeing him. And he told me he got the nickname Easy Shoes. Here comes old Easy Shoes. So that would be me on the docks.
Yeah.
Thank you for all you do for us. And so all of his team gets killed, and then we get maybe the weirdest forced montage.
Mm-hmm. And right now we're going scene by scene, but I think it's crucial that we set this.
The first 5 minutes are pretty important.
There's a lot to go over.
There is. Yeah. You get all these deaths.
Yeah. And
eventually you get to Arnold.
And the great score that it sets up behind it.
Because all that happens before we meet Arnold, right?
Right.
So in one of the research things I found was they shot this World War II Nazi propaganda film. Mm-hmm. With the boots on the ground first, and then bicep, making him look like the Superman, which of course was a big part of the Nazi culture. And they pull it off.
They do.
It may be one of my favorite action hero introductions ever.
How proud of your dad would you be if you just look out your cabin window in isolation and you just see your old man just hauling this redwood on his shoulders down the hill,
just bicep curling the chainsaw as he brings this oak,
no sweat on the wife beater, nothing. Just casual day.
The only sweat is on the brow, and he's fine with that.
And he goes right into chopping.
He doesn't have time. I guess the heat is what? Why do they need firewood right now?
I don't know. Yeah,
it does seem to be the dead of summer.
Maybe he's fuel efficient inside the house. Maybe it's a wood burning stove that he has in there.
Yeah, so it could be a wood burning stove. Could be that's how he gets his hot water.
Right.
Otherwise, what appears to be 100-degree heat.
I could see where he... Sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
I could see where he makes Alyssa... Being his Special Forces background, and especially the thing that he said I could smell him, or like you could... I couldn't smell him. I could. And I would see him and Alyssa Milano having to burn their own shit. He would make his daughter so that nobody could find them. They have to go in a bucket and then burn the latrine like every other day he has to go.
Yeah, he makes a fire pit out of shit. We leave nothing behind. Pretty sweet fucking house, though.
It is, man.
Great location. I guess because he was the leader, he doesn't have to work in a car shop.
It sucks how that money was dispersed, possibly.
Because you got old science teacher, trash man, who's living like a king in San and then here's this guy in his $200 suit, like, hey, you like Cadillac? Okay.
And Bennett apparently just fishing. You know, if that's his job at the time.
I could see Bennett just like, I don't need that life. Yeah. I want to be amongst the ruffians.
Right,
you know?
Right.
But Arnold, isolation, he's done his part for his country, and now he wants to be left alone. I referenced the awkward, forced montage because it's like, we need to show Arnold has a relationship with his daughter.
Yeah.
Here's my theory. You get the scene where she sneaks up on him as he's cutting wood. You get that. They wrestle, they chase. Cut to the sandwich scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's all you need.
Crucial scene. Yeah.
Everything else is unnecessary.
Yeah. We have the ice cream at the...
And the legendary ice cream. Where is that at? Marcus found where that is now.
Oh, man. Hold on. I got to look up our messenger.
Yeah.
I just...
so Marcus, in his due diligence, found where... and it's still operating like diner.
Mount Baldy Lodge.
What's it called?
Mount Baldy Lodge Restaurant.
And it's right off Route 66. In fact, if you took Route 66, which starts in Illinois, all the way to L.A., or California, you would probably pass this place because it's one of the locations you should go see.
Yeah, Mount Baldy, California.
And if you're doing your Commando pilgrimage, gotta stop.
Gotta stop there.
It's a definite stop. Yeah. That and the surplus store.
Right.
And then, of course, there's the weird... legendary moment where they take in a fawn and they feed this deer.
Yeah.
Which seems to be in their yard. What is that doing?
I mean, all I can see is that they know that she's going to, they've planned that she's going to be kidnapped first scene or, first 10 minutes of the movie.
Right.
So they have to just compound all this father-daughter love into the first 10 minutes. Everything from ice cream to deer feeding to sandwich making, which you don't know what the fuck's in it.
Yeah.
And laughing about it.
I would love, here are two things that I think I would like. And maybe one of them is a bit of a stretch. I would love a still image of the deer feeding scene. But I would love, Alyssa Milano's there. We didn't talk much about her, but of course she plays the daughter, and she beat out a bunch of other young stars as well. And she's great in this movie. She goes on to be quite successful. So you get Alyssa Milano, Arnold's kneeling, and he has his hand out, and the deer's eating from it. That still image. And I would like that to be the movie poster.
That would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice.
I would love that Photoshop. If you could do that, please let me know. I'll pay you. It's Commando. Everything else is the same, but instead of Arnold in the vest, it's that picture. And then I would also enjoy that picture as a tattoo.
Oh, okay.
That'd be a fun tattoo.
What if I get you an oil painting when you get your first house and I get you an oil painting of that?
You know what they have? They have something called paintyourlife.com.
Yeah.
Where you can send them digital photos.
Ooh.
And it's relatively cheap.
Yeah.
And you have this consistent check-in with an actual artist who's showing you his progress and stuff like that. You'd be like, oh, no, this. Yeah. And they sort of cater it to you. People are doing it with like, oh, I'll send them a picture of my mother and they will paint this picture, this portrait. I wonder if they could... I guess if they change the likeness a little bit, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, that... Could he get in trouble for selling something that had Arnold's face on it?
Well, what you're selling... You're not selling it. I'm not selling it, right? And they're...
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right, yeah.
But I know they... Like, a lot of FedEx has... Like, when you use their copier, you have to agree, like, what you're using is not...
Right.
Anyway, if you know, let us know. Yeah. I would love that portrait.
That'd be fun.
An 8x10 Arnold feeding a deer. And then we get right into our first big action scene, pretty much.
Yeah.
We do get to see Arnold be a little homophobic.